In Sako village on the edge of Kathmandu, Bijendra Dongol and his wife make a small amount of money by preparing wool for knitting. Dongol lost 6 members of his family during the quake when his house fell. 7 months after the quake, he is angry and dejected.
Those who died have died. How are we going to survive? We have no hope from the government. They only take care of themselves, both this government and the one before. There is no reconstruction. Before we got some relief, that too has stopped.
More than 70 people died in this village and 800 houses were damaged. Now people have been told that they are no longer allowed to take refuge on government land. People like Dongol face the additional expense of renting land to build temporary shelter.
The Nepali government still has not established the Reconstruction Authority, which is supposed to fast-track rebuilding, which means the $4 billion pledged by the international community cannot be spent. But it has allocated more than $700 million for reconstruction this year, but that hasn't been spent either. Now the cabinet is saying that the National Planning Commission will be responsible for spending that money.
The head of the existing planning commission says it will play a temporary role to get reconstruction moving.
It is simply to facilitate the existing programs and budgets put in the current year's budget by the government. Since there is no authority at the moment, and the 91 billion rupees which was earmarked for reconstruction work could not be materialized. So our job has been to get those programs approved by the ministries and ask the ministries to implement them by themselves.
But those working with quake victims are getting concerned. Bureaucratic delays within the ministries and some say even corruption mean there is little transparency over when project will finally receive their funding. Pasanglang Musherpa Akita has been raising funds from friends and families and distributing relief since the quake.
I've not seen reconstruction work anywhere I've been. In the mountains, people are suffering from the cold. They need food, clothes and blankets. Children are getting sick. Let alone reconstruction, some have received no relief.
Some of the donor agencies that we talked to said they've already started spending their money without the government. And while the government has been focusing on political deadlocks, quake victims who lost everything they owned are beginning to lose hope as well. Sabina Shrestha, Al Jazeera, Kathmandu.